probably trying to make sense in the last couple of minutes what exactly that was all about. Is he in the MK party? It sounds like he's not going to leave the MK party, but maybe he wants to create his own new political vehicle. I imagine is going to be the next trending topic. There is no one better to try and get some at least political reaction and analysis on this than Brutus Malada. Not often that Brutus and I get to speak in person. It's often over Zoom, so what an honor, what a pleasure to have Brutus with us, actually come in and talk to me today. Can you make this make sense for me? Because I was listening and I'm still a little confused.
First of all, Floyd is engaging in a process to legitimize a decision he has already taken. He has already taken a decision to form a political party. And now this consultation process, it's really just to rubber stamp the decision that has been made. Hence, he has already a structure that he's going to announce in a few days. Now, the question is there space for a new political party? You need three things for a political party to exist. You need an ideology, you need the crowd, and you need funding. Now, ideology, that space that Floyd operates in, his orientation, it's already saturated. You've got the South African Communist Party, you've got the EFF, you've got the MKP. Now, how is Floyd going to distinguish himself from the three parties? It's going to be very difficult. So there lies in a question about relevance. So when you talk about the second aspect, which is crowd, Floyd is failing to understand his own limitations. He is a very good politician, but he's a strategist. He is not a crowd puller. So he was able to make inroads when he was partnering with Julius, because Julius has crowd, he has charisma.
He has number two.
He has crowd. Floyd has strategy, so he has got the brains to think about strategy, to write documents, to put the constitution together. But he cannot pull the crowd. So without the crowd, a political party is just your own person.
You fall flat.
So you fall flat. If he wants this thing to survive, he must step back and give somebody else who has charisma to lead the party, and he still works like the way.
There's no party. It's a vehicle. I don't even know what this is.
No, but I'm saying really, it's a foregone conclusion. There is a party in the making. He's just wanting to legitimize the process by saying that there's consultation. So we should expect that there will be an announcement of the party, a name, very, very soon. These consultations, I mean, all political parties, including the EFF when it was formed, it was that they were going to consult. But we knew that there is a party in the making. Action SA, it was the same. There is a public, whatever, dialogue. And then there was Action SA. So that's how political parties are formed.
You mentioned three.
Yeah,
I interrupted you. The third is the funding. The money's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, the third thing is funding. It's very critical. Let me tell you, it took not less than 30 million rands for Rise Mzansi to get 2 seats in parliament. Now, in South Africa, you've got 4 sources of funding for political parties. The first one are philanthropists, the business people, mainly the old money, right? You can, if you are speaking the language of Floyd and them, you can call them the white monopoly capital. The second funder is illicit trade. So here you've got people who are dealing with illicit cigarettes, drugs, and tenderpreneurs. Yes, they are. Yes, they are people who are involved in this thing. Yes, there are people who are involved in these things who are funding political parties. Okay. The third one is crowdfunding, but I will illustrate how difficult it will be for Floyd. The fourth one is the IEC. So let's start with the IEC. The IEC out, because the IEC will fund you once you have representation in parliament. So let's park that aside. Let's come to a crowd. The South African public is indebted. People cannot invest money in political party, take their 10 rand. Ordinary people in South Africa, it's difficult for them to take their 10 rand to donate to a party. They would rather save it to buy a loaf of bread. So
get something from their 10 rand.
We have a very small middle class. What we call the middle class is actually public servants, and they are broke. So they are not going to fund this political party. The illicit space, you've got people who are trading in, I mean, let's talk about the corruption in tenders. These people fund the political elites in political parties and political parties on the back of a promise for more work and protection against, investigations and stuff.
Contracts if you support me.
Yes, there's transactions that are happening. So we know about that. There are people, we have heard of Paul Mashatile, for instance, who has been, alleged to be, living a large life that is funded by people like Edwin Sodi. This is, I'm not breaking any news here. It's known, it's out there in the public. Now, that space, for Floyd to penetrate it, he needs to have a promise. What is he going to give these people for them to support him? There is nothing. And why should anyone who is funding MK, why should anyone who is funding MK or funding EFF decide to fund Floyd today? Because there is nothing that he would be able to offer.
Who is he? You make a good point. Who is he trying to, Brutus, who is he trying to pull across? Is he trying to pull across the EFF supporter and the MK supporter, or is he going for a new audience? What's his aim, do you think?
No, I think that his first target is the constituency of the EFF and the constituency of MKP. So he has recruited a lot of people, and which was his downfall. He recruited a lot of people from the EFF and placed them in strategic positions, at the same time sidelining those who were the people that started with MKP. And there was discontentment about it, which led to his downfall. Now, those people now would have to leave the the MKP, because they would be seen as Floyd's people. Now, their future in MKP is not guaranteed. They would have to follow him.
Does Floyd have people?
The people that he recruited there there are people who joined MK because he went there. So we expect that a number of those would follow him. But the problem with Floyd is that he has abandoned a project that he started. How do you, as a member of MKP who followed him, guarantee yourself that he will not leave even the initiative he's starting? Because he left EFF, which was his own initiative. So I think there's going to be a problem. On the other funders, I don't think that he's going to be able to get any traction with those that funded people like Rise Mzansi and Bosa and them. I don't think that that's the kind of people that he will be targeting for funding.
Can we trust Floyd Shivambu? So from the days of the early Julius Malema ANC Youth League to the EFF, to the MK Party, and now a national dialogue, I'm not even sure what the word is being used these days at the moment. He moves around a lot. Political trust is a currency. We know how important it is, especially ahead of next year. Can we trust Floyd Shivambu?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say that the public would trust Floyd Shivambu. First of all, on the aspect of trust, you need to talk about the very same issues that are coming for him, the VBS case, which is not closed. It's still coming. So he will have to do a lot of political spin as the NPA will be following him on the issue of VBS. The credibility of political leaders has been eroded, and he's one of those leaders whose credibility is questionable. Now, with his movements, that just adds it compounds the very same problem of trust for political leaders.
Very quickly, as I say goodbye, how does the MK Party, the MKP, handle this now? He's not leaving the MKP. He's going to stay in the MK Party, but maybe create his own movement. It's getting a bit confusing for us. Just wrap this up for me. How do I do this? How do I read into what Floyd Shivambu is doing?
It is a strategy that has been utilized successfully by Jacob Zuma to create tensions within the ANC, and Floyd aims to gain the same benefits by making it a decision of MKP to actually fire him. So he's putting it to them. He's daring them actually to fire him, but
he's taunting them.
He's going to form a political party, and MKP would have to weigh its options and say, for how long can we live with this, or should we just sever ties with this guy, expel him, once and for all, and then deal with the consequences. And I think that will be the best decision to make, so that he doesn't continue to utilize the infrastructure and the support that he had in the MKP. So the sooner they expel him, the better.
It's almost like corporate. Don't fire me. I'm not going to walk away. Rather fire me.
Yeah.
Because it makes me look better.
Yes.
It makes you look
worse.
He
wants the sympathy of members in the MKP to say Jacob Zuma was not, no, he has been fighting this issue with the ANC. Why should he be treated differently?
Brutus, wonderful. Thank you very, very much for coming in and joining us this afternoon. You agree?